Srimati Madhavi Rajagopalan, Dr. Rita Rajan, Dr. Subhashini Parthasarathi, Srimati Helen Acharya, Secretary, Central Sangeet Natak Academy, and Srimati Nandini Ramani, Managing Trustee of Dr. V. Raghavan Center for Performing Arts. Will you all please come on stage? Srimati Nandini Ramani, Managing Trustee of Dr. V. Raghavan Center for Performing Arts, will now deliver the welcome address.
Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Good morning and namaskaram to everyone assembled here. எல்லாருக்கும் காலை வணக்கங்கள். மேடையில் இருக்கக்கூடிய மாபெரும் நிபுணர்கள் அனைவருக்கும் முதற்கண்ணினுடைய நமஸ்காரங்கள். சேர்மன் சங்கீத நாடக அகாடமி மிஸ் லீலா சாம்சன், காரியதர்ஷி ஸ்ரீமதி ஹெலன் ஆச்சாரியா ஆகியோருக்கும் நல்வரவு. கூடியிருக்கும் அனைவருக்கும் நல்வரவு, மனமார்ந்த நமஸ்காரங்கள். அவையில் விதுஷிகள், வித்வான்கள், நாட்டிய கலைஞர்கள், ஆச்சாரியர்கள், நிபுணர்கள், மாபெரும் சர்வ கலாசாலையின் விபாகத்தினர், சங்கீத விபாகத்தினர், சங்கீத ரசிகர்கள் அனைவருக்கும் முதற்கண் வரவேற்பு தெரிவித்துக் கொள்கிறேன். இந்த நூற்றாண்டு ஸ்ரீமதி டி முக்தா, விதுஷி ஸ்ரீமதி டி முக்தா அவர்களின் நூற்றாண்டு விழாவை ஒட்டி நடக்கும் இந்த மகோன்னதமான ஒரு வித்வத் சதஸ் என்று தான் சொல்ல வேண்டும். அதனுடைய ஆரம்ப விதியை உண்டாக்கியது சங்கீத நாடக அகாடமியின் சங்கீத விபாகத்தினர் தான். ஏனென்றால் முதலில் இது ஒரு விழாவாக ஃபெஸ்டிவல் ஆஃப் பதம்ஸ் அண்ட் ஜாவலிஸாக தான் நினைத்து கொண்டோம். அதற்கு பிறகு அது ஒரு செமினார் என்று ஒன்று இருக்க வேண்டும். குறிப்பாக அதுவும் விதுஷி முக்தமா அவர்கள் கட்டிக்காத்த அந்த பதம் ஜாவளி என்ற சங்கீத பாரம்பரியத்திற்கு ஒரு நல்ல ஒரு மேடை அமைத்து அதை பற்றிய கருத்து பரிமாறலும் சர்ச்சைகளும் நடைபெற வேண்டும். பெரியோர்களிடமிருந்து பல விஷயங்களை கேரிங் ஃபார்வர்ட், தட் இஸ் த மெயின் ஆப்ஜெக்டிவ் ஆஃப் சங்கீத் நாடக அகாடமி, ஃபாஸ்டரிங் அண்ட் டாக்குமெண்டிங் ஓரல் ட்ரெடிஷன்ஸ். ஏனென்றால் இந்த பதம் ஜாவளி என்பது வாய்வழி, செவி வழி வாய்வழி வந்த கலை பாரம்பரியம். பெரியவர்கள் காலத்திற்கு பின்னால் இது மறையக்கூடாது. அவர்கள் இப்போது இல்லை என்றாலும் அவர் வம்சாவளியினர், அவருடைய வழி வந்த மாணவ மாணவியர், இவர்களுடைய பரிமாற்றங்கள், இசை பரிமாற்றங்கள் நன்றாக நடந்தால்தான் பிற்கால சந்ததியினருக்கு இது போய் சேரும் என்பதை சங்கீத நாடக அகாடமி, மத்திய அகாடமி, National Academy of Music and Dance has been aiming at with several projects and procedures like this. First of all, I thank Sangeet Natak Academy, Ms. Leela, who has been pioneering such things, as we all know of her good work in the past years, and Srimati Helen Acharya, who has stood by her in such endeavors, and particularly Mrs. Rita Swami, who has supported and carried forward all the work regarding this, and giving me an opportunity. Dr. Raghavan Center, especially the founders' interest in all these musical traditions and his support to this Dhanamal family was widely discussed yesterday evening in the program, in the film. To conduct that under this center, it has been a great opportunity. I thank the Sangeet Natak Academy for having joined me, for encouraging me to do this. And it's a great opportunity for all the beautiful young ladies, observers, who have come from different places of the country, like Manipur, Chandigarh, Bengaluru, Trichy, and our local experts. I welcome them all. I'm sure it's going to be a fund of knowledge that they'll be gaining from this, not only listening and documenting information for themselves. And it's my happy privilege to welcome several experts in the audience, like Vidwan, Bharata Vidwan, Herambanathan, our Sangeet Natak Academy awardee, and eminent musician, Sangeeta Kalanidhi Trichushi V. Ramachandran, and our voice culture exponent and great musician, Shri Anant Vaidyanathan. Dr. Pramila Gurumurthy, HOD Madras University Music Department, and many others. Dr. R.S. Jayalakshmi is there. Srimati Geeta Raja, a direct descendant of the Brindama Marni. Dr. Kausalya from Tanjavur. If I have left anybody because of my eyesight, I may not be able to see beyond the level. I welcome each one of you for this unique event, and I hope you will all enjoy it and have a very thoughtful discussion over the subject. And please be with us and enjoy. Thank you.
Thank you. Padams and Javalis are performed in classical dance and in music concerts. The search and research into the genres is an ongoing process. This series of lecture demonstrations today has been devised for the benefit of students. All of us are lifelong students of music and dance. We are happy that there are several observers here from different parts of the country, from Manipur, Chhattisgarh, Kolkata, Bengaluru, Tanjavur, and of course, Chennai. The lectures will feature eminent speakers who will be sharing their insights into the various facets of Padams and Javalis. The first lecture demonstration is on Padams and Javalis in 78 RPM record by Shri V.A.K. Rangarao. And we would like to tell the speakers that the time duration would be a total of 30 minutes. At 25 minutes, we plan to ring a bell, and after that, we'll have 5 minutes of interaction. So we request the eminent speakers to kindly stick to the time so that it can be beneficial to all concerned. I take double pleasure in introducing Sri V.A.K. Rangarao because I had the pleasure of introducing him yesterday, but as a formality, I do have to do it all over again today. Sri V.A.K. Rangarao is a veteran critic, rasika, and writer on dance. He hails from the Bobili family, known for its patronage of art and artists. His passion for music, dance, and films has made him an archivist who has a record collection of 78 RPM records. He has a special affinity for the genre of Padams and Javalis. He is a staunch Krishna Premi not too fond of Sri Rama, but lives in a house called Ram Mahal. And what's more important is that Ram Mahal is the storehouse of the world record collection of his vast musical records. I invite Sri V.A.K. Rangarao to open this session with his lecture demonstration.
Thank you, but you have not exaggerating anything about me, only the facts you spoke. Good. సభకు నమస్కారం. నా పేరు V.A.K. Rangarao. My lecture will be in English, my introduction in Telugu. I have so much to tell and a limited time. I'll try to condense it as much as possible. So that I'll finish. Now, I have to start at the beginning. Who is the first Vaggayakara in India? Valmiki. He wrote the songs. I don't know, I don't think he taught the songs to Lava and Kusha, the shlokas. He tuned them, he taught them how to play on the stringed instrument, whatever, and sing it at the yajna conducted by Sita's husband, with Sita as a golden icon. The song form we know, the first song form, 12th century Sanskrit, Jayadeva's Ashtapadi. Ashtapadi, 8, some of them have more than 8 couplets, but many of them are of the same length. In some, the Dhruvam, the Pallavi, is slightly shorter. In Telugu, the first song Vaggayakara is Annamacharya of the 15th century. Kshetraya, as far as I could gather, was the first person to give a definitive form for the Anupallavi, both musically and lyrically. It serves a particular purpose. In Annamacharya's Sankirtanas, there is no Anupallavi. In some, there are 2 Pallavis. I do not know how to explain them. In his Sankirtana Lakshanam, he does not write about songs with 2 different Pallavis. After Kshetraya, there have been so many, Sarangapani. I can't name all of them, but it was Kshetraya. When I talk about their music, I am presuming that the present music we have of their songs is their own. I know some of it is not quite correct. Many songs in Srimati Dhanam's family have been tuned, many Kshetraya Padams have been tuned by somebody. Mrs. Kalanidhi Narayanan, my guru, she has brought out a book called Triveni, 27 songs. Out of that, 8 Sarangapani songs have been chosen by me, tuned for my dance in Karveti Nagaram Venugopala Swami temple for the last 49 years for Janmashtami, tuned by B. Gopalam. The only ones extant earlier, as far as I know, Ananda Bhairavi, recorded by Veenadhanam as Ottu Betra. Ottu Betteda Sumi is the correct Pallavi. And in Dhanyasi, Ichina Manchide, Iyakunna Manchide, recorded by Choppalli Suryanarayana Bhagavatar in 1937, 38. I've got those records with me. Now, the other song form I'm going to talk about is Javali. Now, many scholars have given different reasons. Javali, a lewd song, according to Kittel in Kannada. It is something in Maratha. It is something in Parsi. It is something in Arabic. It is something in this. It's something in that. All of them cannot be true. For me, the Javali form came into being before a name was appended to it. I request the pious people in front of me not to be offended when I say that some songs of Tyagaraja are Javalis. Enta Muddu, Enta Sogaso in Bindu Malini. Yendu Kaugalintura in Shuddha Deshi. I've got one recording by a Devadasi recorded in 1927. I haven't heard anybody sing it. Chinnanatane, Chinnanatana, it can be sung either way, in Kalanidhi. All of them have the prosody of a Javali. Not only that, many Javalis, they proclaim, I have known you from childhood. You did this to me in my childhood. I did this to you in my childhood. This Chinnanatane, Endu Kaugalentura, Enta Muddu, they have such references. Another very important thing, I learnt it not learnt it, I learnt about it very late in life by Kalavar Ring. I wrote about it in Shruti. Srimati Rita Rajan noticed it. Well, she was about to give a lecture in Music Academy. She contacted me over the phone. That was a felicitation. Mrs. Rita Rajan asking V.A.K. Rangarao about Tala. Well, Kalavar Ring, Saride Lakshmi Narsamma. She belonged to the Devadasi family. In Andhra, we don't say Devadasi, we say Sanivaru, Bhogamvaru. Devadasi means it's a job, like an accountant, working for a temple. She told me, she mistook me for a musician from Madras. She said, you people from Madras put everything in sambar. I didn't understand. She said, as you put all sorts of vegetable in sambar, you put all sorts of songs in the Aditalam and sing it. I said, Madam, I don't know. Then she told me about Deshadi and Madhyadi. According to Chingalpat Ranganathan, none of the singers, none of the dancers employ them. According to Chingalpat Ranganathan, who was a Nidhi in Tala, they don't even know about it. Not only many Javalis, some Tyagaraja Kritis are also in Deshadi, Madhyadi. I can't sing, but I have to make an attempt to get across this idea. Apaduru Kulonaitine. Saride Lakshmi Narsamma told me this. Deshadi. Apaduru Kulonaitine. Chapala Chittamu Chetane. Apadu. That is the thing. 1, 2, 3, 4 is Deshadi. 1, 2, 3, 4 is Madhyadi. No one does it. I don't know. I think you don't even know about it. You have heard about it. If you are an academician, it would have never ever occurred to you to sing it in that Tala structure or dance to it in that Tala structure. There have been people, young musicians, they're not young now, when I first contacted them, they said, it's all the same. If it's all the same, why would the Javali Kartas specify Deshadi Madhyadi? Why would Tyagaraja do it? In some of these Deshadi Madhyadi Pallavis, if you are singing it in Aditalam, you have to repeat it odd number of times, 3 times or 4 times to bring it into that 8 structure, which should have been in 4. Now, why am I here? To share my thoughts. What I have been. Don't ask me for the standard, but I have been a dancer. I have been a choreographer. Choreographer not for academically trained people like you, school children in Vijayanagaram in 1960. I taught them how to do Twinkle Twinkle Little Star like an 8-year-old child, 18-year-old person in love, and an 80-year-old grandmother. I am a composer. I have written Javalis and Padams. I have taught dance to these young girls. I'm a dance critic. I am a listener to recorded music. I've got 52,078 RPM records, all of which I have heard at least once. There are about 400 voices in it, and I can recognize 40 voices, even if they're singing a song which I don't know. Apart from that, I have been exposed to Sanivaru, Bhogamvaru of Andhra. I belong to the royal family of Bobili. My uncle, my father's elder brother, Raja of Bobili, was the chief minister of Madras. There was a lady, Gaddi Bhukta Sitaram, who was employed by the Venugopala temple in Bobili. She was also the court dancer. After finishing her chores in the temple in the morning, she would come into the Ranivasam, where my mother, who is the Rani's sister, and Rani stayed. We children, when we were 11, 12, we were kept in the ladies' part of the house. She would come, she would make tambulam to be given to the guests. She will make sandal paste, and she will collect parijatam flowers from the ladies' garden, bring them, string them together, and put them around the necks of, we had 3 feet high Krishna idols, clay idols, around their necks. And because we were a joint family, there were 5, 6 children of different ages, she would start shlokas, Chetilo Vannamudda, Changalva Pubanti, all about Krishna. After 5 minutes, the rest of them would have slipped away. I would have stayed. When I was 3 years old, 4 years old, 5 years old, I knew Manchidina Munede, recorded by Coimbatore Thai, Matada Baradeno, Madhura Nagarilo of Chittur Subramanyam Pillai. She would dance them in the Urvalam. We would go to a particular place, a room from which the ladies could see without being seen. The next morning, I would ask her, how is it Kamala holds Krishna like this and you are holding Krishna like this? I was not a prodigy. I was just exposed to it. I would ask her. She said, I don't know. My aunt taught me to hold it like this. That's how we do it. Again, she would change all Muvagopala addresses to Venugopala. I would say, this is a Kshetraya Padam. It should be Muvagopala. Why are you singing it Venugopala? She said, I am the servant of Venugopala. I can't sing another person's name. This is my exposure. Later on, when I was much older, 20 years or so, I went to Vijayanagaram, met many Sanivaru, Bhogamvaru of 60 years, 80 years. That's when I met Saride Lakshmi Narasamma. There are people who are going to talk about other aspects. Apart from famous Vadapalli Varu, something and something and something, many of these singers, for instance, this Kalavar Ring, she wrote it herself and she sang it on record. I have the record, which is known to Srimati Nirmala Sundararajan and Subhashini Padasarthi in Mand. Ratiri Nataka Mainadi Modalaga Radu Gada Nidura. I haven't heard a more beautiful Mand in my life. Possibly it is childhood conditioning. It is beautiful. And the way she would sing it, when I went to meet her, she was not very old, but she was quite sick. And someone who played tabla to her, she said she can do Diditai in 20 different ways. I just mentioned it. She said, how do you know? How do you know? I said, so-and-so told me. She got up to dance. I was extremely terrified that she would collapse. She did a song, Yagamu Valadusumi, Sati Devi addressing her father Daksha, don't do this yajna without inviting. That's not hers. That is a regular composition. Then she told me that she herself wrote this Ratiri Nataka Mainada Modalaga, Saipagazalara, and a few others. Now, I have got such self-compositions which can be passed off When I say passed off, I'm not being condescending. I'm being technical. Passed off as Javalis and Padams, which are totally unknown. I've got about 60, 70 of them, all in Telugu. Some are local composers of Vijayanagaram. Repu Vattuvu Gani, Turupu Telavare, things like that. Cheragu Masanayyo Emi Setune. Now, many, not now, some 20 years ago, musicians, vocalists would say, oh, we sing like Tyagaraja. My grandfather learned from so-and-so, and that so-and-so learned from Manambu Chavadi, and that so-and-so learned from Tyagaraja. And we are singing exactly nonsense, absolute stuff and nonsense. You don't. You don't know how Tyagaraja sang. I don't know either, but I've got Nagumomu Ganaleni from 1904 to the present day. If you hear them chronologically, you will know what a sea change has come over. Sometimes the notes are changed. M. Lalitangi, beautiful singer. I've got 10 of her songs. She sang Manasuloni Marmamulu with one note. Her daughter sang it with another note. I don't know. I don't know. That doesn't matter. But they're different and I could find out. I asked MLV, you say that you are your mother's disciple, but you are singing it with a different note. Why? I am GNB's disciple also. Fine. Many, many years ago, Lakshmi Shankar, who imparted so much of information. She told me when she was a very young girl, she learned 2 songs. Today they're being sung. I don't remember the songs. She mentioned them, not she. A person from the States writing for Shruti after her death mentioned those songs. They're being sung totally differently. I don't know which is the right one, which is the wrong one, but I do know that the statement that you are not, that the song forms are not changed at all is wrong. I have got very old songs. Tiruvidai Maradur Bhavani, Nagumomu, 1904. Salem Godavari, Intirovani Manasu. They are 10-inch records, single side. Shivakolundu, Chanaro. It is not Janaro. If you are singing it Janaro, correct yourself. Nene Jana, Shankarabharanam. Paripovalera, Vilahari. Nagaratnamma, Vaddanine. A little later, Chembai, Komaro. There is a difference between the Devadasis singing it and the classically trained musicians singing it. You see, the Devadasis' prime target is to entertain people. And they would add the people who said the piety, that kind of people, who said that Javalis are lewd compositions and all that. They also, the ragas are not pure, they are not clear. Yes, I know that. Today you are singing Nivalla Gunadoshamemi in the copy popularized by Sarsamulade Tanduku. 50 years ago, when they were recorded, Jagadodharana was marked on the record Hindustani copy. What is Karnataka copy? The way Sumasayaka is sung. Now, if you tell me, how dare you say these things before such a learned gathering? I've got courage to speak the truth. God bless me. Krishna, give me courage. Now, I am very particular that however great you are as a singer, however great you are as a dancer, more important than you is the composer. It is his songs you're dancing to. You can't make his songs dance to your antics on stage. No matter who. You can be a singer, you can be a dancer. If you're mistaken, correct yourself. Today, many books are available in English, in Telugu. Go to Scholar. Are the books 100% correct? They can't be. They are the products of human endeavor. They can't be 100% correct. Get the best resources and do your best. I will tell you what is wrong. In many, many songs, this is because, how do I know? I have been exposed to these records. I have been exposed to the Devadasis. And Javalis, Padams are in Shishta Vyavaharikam. Good Telugu, used by educated people. Javalis, some of them, Vidyal Narayana Swami, they're as good as any of the Padams. But The others, they were written by people who did not have a systematic academic hold on Telugu, and they used words which were not in the dictionaries. People say, when I told some of them, no, my guru taught me that, I can't change it. Yesterday, in the short film, in the tracks used by Uma, I think all the songs started with the Pallavi, and they were clear. Sometimes I did go to concerts of Brindamma, Muktamma. Sometimes they were too slow for dance, but they were not singing for dance, they were singing. I could only float in that Gandharvam. There was no Sahityam. I couldn't make out a single word, whether it was Telugu or Tamil. But that music, it could have been Ahiri, Hejjeji, Ghanta. I don't know them from Chinese or Greek. But it was music to lull me into bliss. Okay, that apart. I will tell you one more thing about Muktamma. I told you yesterday about my connection, Kalanithi Narayanan, her singer Vijayalakshmi, Muktamma. I found many faults in the text. Muktamma heard me out. She told Vijayalakshmi, take all the textual corrections given to you by V.A.K. Rangarao. Don't change a single note of what I have taught you. It shows the confidence she had in me, and I am trying to live up to her confidence. M.L. Vasantakumari sang always, Pavamana Sotadu Pattu. There is no such word. If Sudha Raghunathan, Prabhavati, Charumati Ramachandran say, my guru sang like that, we are going to sing wrong, I think they are spoiling their guru's name. I am not talking about MLV now. I did tell her it was wrong one whole afternoon. That evening sang Sutadu. I asked her, she said, I have been singing this way for 40 years. You tell me 4 hours ago, you think I can change it? Period. And why are you starting with Pavamana Sutadu instead of Neenama Rupa Mulaku? God knows. I'm sure you will say, my grandmother sang it that way. My grandfather sang it that way. Good for your grandmother and grandfather. But this is the text. Neenama Rupa Mulaku is the version. I have got 4 cassettes of dance music. All of them sing Sarasi Jakshalu. Wrong. Sarasi Jakshulu is correct. Neemata Lemayanura sung perfectly in that short film. A very good dancer of Madras went to Bangalore, and she had a singer who repeated, it is Neematalu Emayanura. She repeated, Neemata Lemayanura, Lemayanura, Lemayanura. There's no such thing. There's no such thing. You're making a mess of it, opening your mouth and putting your foot in it. Not one foot, both feet. D.K. Pattammal has sung, Radhika Krishna Tava Virahe Kesava. The Krishna has no place there. Go to any text of Gita Govindam. It is Radhika Tava Virahe Kesava. Why is it sung? Yes, the influence of Harikatha people who wanted to fill up a gap with something or other. I will tell you, 40 years ago, I went to T.S. Parthasarathi. I asked him for the oldest book of Tyagaraja Kritis, Nannu Vidachi Kadalakura, Riti Gaula. Today, you are singing it Nannu Vidachi Kadalakura, Ramaya Rama, Mailapur Rama, Bharati Vidya Bhavan Rama. Nonsense. It is not there. Nannu Vidachi Kadalakura. There is a gap which I think is to show the deenatvam of the singer, Tyagaraja. The first thing, get the correct text. The second thing, get the correct meaning. It is not that important for a singer as it is for a dancer, because you have to match each word with facial expression, hand gestures. When I say this about these things, can I have personal animosity against all these people? Not possible. There's another thing. If I ask T. Balasaraswati, she taught two of her disciples who told me. I don't remember the names. Sudare adi nadache hoyalu. There's a line which says, Apaduru Kodagatti or something. Apaduru Kodagatti means ladies receive good things in their Kodagatti, they did this way, misunderstanding it for a flag. It is wrong. Whether T. Balasaraswati does it or Saraswati herself does it, it is wrong, according to my knowledge. It should not be repeated. If you think that you are protecting the copyright of your guru by doing the wrong things, you are only spoiling their name. This does not mean that her contribution I do. That is why I am more worried. If a street side singer sings something wrong, I walk. If a classical musician from the days sings that, I can't tolerate it. That is the thing. Now, all that I'm trying to say, for a musician, for a dancer, the text is the most important thing, and the one final point. The Padam should be sung from the Anupallavi. Who told you? Your grandfather? Manambu Chavdi? Valajapet? I don't know if in his real life he's Bala Kanakamaya. Fine. When you're sitting on the dais and singing, it is Elani Dayaradu. They say, no, singing it, you see, Manchi Dinamunede starts Adhara Shadjamam, Ponche starts there, so we have a bright opening. Now, I'm coming here, I want to have a bright thing, I put on fine clothes which I design, I put on a little bit of makeup, I'm sorry, I don't have a wig. I walked in, I sat down, I didn't climb up to the rafters and swing down to make a bright opening like Tarzan. There's no Jane for me. There's no need. If there is any singer, if there is any dancer who says that unless I commence from the Anupallavi, I cannot have a bright opening, I feel sorry for their disability. Thank you very much. Questions?
We invite questions from the audience. Srimati Shushma can give the mic to anybody who wants to ask a few questions. Please tell us your name and then you can ask the question. Please keep it as a question and not make comments so that it just takes time.
I do understand the purpose of the seminar as soon as he opened. He said Devdasi sing differently from classical musicians. So standing from a dancer's point of view, I see the effort for this seminar now. So my question was, should we put in more effort when we dance to sing in the style of the Devadasis, because it's more pertinent? Because of my generation, I don't know how many of us have really interacted or met a Devadasi and heard them sing. So my question to somebody who's met them is, should we make an effort to bring back that style of singing? Would it be more pertinent for dance?
Would it be more pertinent?
Hey, speak louder.
Would it be more pertinent to make an effort for the dancer?
I told you, Devdasi singing is not conditioned by Venkatamakhi, but the need to please people. It doesn't mean from Kamas they went to some other raga. No. They made it as beautiful as possible. If you see that short film, Nima Tale Mayanura, Krishna bless Nandini Ramani for visualizing it. It is made for Abhinaya. Uma did well. But 50% of the impact she made is by the song. Now, M.L. Vasantakumari used to sing for her daughter Sri Vidya's dance. M.L. Vasantakumari would not change an inch to fit in her abhinaya. They didn't gel together. It was much better when a less competent singer, Prabhavati, less competent than M.L. Vasantakumari, Prabhavati sang. I asked her, what is this Meenakshi Memudam Dehi? You are singing in Kacheri style and you are expecting her, she can dance. You need, if it is for dance, you need it to be sung suitable for dance, not suitable for the days. One other thing, you see, don't quote some grandfather figure, grandmother figure and say, in Kalakshetra, Sariga Chira, Sariga Kongu Danito, Saiga Chesinadi Kantine. For years, they were doing it wrong, as though she was semaphoring it with her Sariga Chira Kongu. It is not. It is a description of the girl. I brought this to the notice of Bhagavatal Sita Rama Sharma, who knows Telugu 10 times more than I do. I said, why don't you tell them? He said, they will tell me, Attai did it, and Balu Bhagavatar did it, and Venkatramana Bhagavatalu did it. They won't accept it. So I'm not going to say anything. That is one way of dealing with it, not my way of dealing with it. I brought to this to the notice of Shanta and Dhananjayan, who have also been my gurus. They've changed it. What is wrong? Is there any human being who has not erred in their life, made a mistake? Once you discover it, change it.
Thank you. Thank you. Any more questions? I think we stop with this one question for Sri V.K. Ranga. You probably intimidated the audience a little too much. We do have another question.
Namaskaram, sir. I just have a small
name, please.
I'm Sheila Harikrishna, a disciple of Mrs. Madhavi Rajagopalan. I feel that when we sing with a little அனுபவிச்சு பாடணும்னு சொல்கிறோம் இல்லையா, அந்த மாதிரி அனுபவிச்சு பாடும்போது தி ஒரிஜினல் டெக்ஸ்டோட சில வார்த்தைகள் லைக் ராமான்னு சொல்கிறதோ, கோதண்ட ராமா ஒரு கிருஷ்ணான்னு சேர்த்துக்கிறதோ, அது இட் இஸ் ஸ்வாபாவிகம் ஃபார் தி ஆர்டிஸ்ட். டோன்ட் யூ ஃபீல் தட்? தட் இஸ் வாட் ஐ
Tell me.
அனுபவிச்சு பாடுற போது அனுபவிச்சு பாடுற போது there are sometimes
the Anupallavi, please sit down. I will tell you. I will make up an sorry. Anubhavichu padrathu is something like, how can you experience it? Only when you have, when you know the correct meaning. When is the correct meaning possible? When you have the correct text. The prime requisite is the correct text, then the correct meaning. The singer, if they are used, the greatest combination, Shyamala Balakrishnan and Padma Subramaniam. I could not say whether she was dancing to Shyamala or Shyamala was singing to Padma's dance. That is because both of them are great, both of them are extremely able, but both of them have been together for ages. So I couldn't make out. Padma invents things like that. Shyamala would find out by intuition what Padma was going to do and sing along with it. When T. Balasaraswati sang her Vrittams, she would go along with the music. And Anubhavichu Padrathu, yes, because she herself was singing, and the Vrittams meaning she knew like the back of her hand, she could match what she was singing with her dance. What else? Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sri V.K. Rangarao. In his inimitable way, Sri V.K. Rangarao has thrown light on how the way the songs are sung have changed over time, resulting in different pathantaras. And he also has pointed out the importance of adhering to the correct Pathantaram. Thank you, Sri Rangarao Garu. We now request Chairperson of Sangeet Natak Academy, Ms. Leela Samson, to honor Sri V.A.K. Rangarao. Before continuing with the Sthai Bhava of the lecture demonstrations on Padams and Javalis, we have a little Vyabhachari Bhava of a book release function here. We request Srimati Nandini Ramani to say a few words about the book.
இந்த செமினார் டிசைன் பண்ணப்போ I was hoping at least that முக்தம்மாவுடைய நொட்டேஷன் படி வேதவல்லிமா பண்ண கலெக்ஷன் இருந்தது. அதை ஒரு புஸ்தகமாக வெளிக்கொண்டு வரணும்னு என்னோட சென்டரில் ஐ வாஸ் வெரி பர்டிகுலர். பட் அது முடியாமல் போச்சு வேதவல்லிமாவுக்கு டைம் கன்ஸ்ட்ரெயின்ட்னால. அந்த சமயத்தில் என்னுடைய ஓல்டு ஃப்ரெண்டு ஸ்ரீமதி மாதவி ராஜகோபாலன், மெனி ஆஃப் யூ மே நாட் பி அவேர் ஆஃப் ஹர் ஸ்காலர்ஷிப், திருப்பாம்பரம் ஸ்ரீ சுவாமிநாத பிள்ளையவாளுடைய பிரதம சிஷ்யை, ஜெயம்மா பாலம்மாவோட அம்மா கிட்ட நிறைய பதம் பாடி கத்துண்டவா, விஸ்வாசார்கிட்ட வந்து ஸ்டூடெண்ட்டாக இருந்து எம்ஃபில்லாம் பண்ணினவா. அவள் வந்து ஒரு 13 சாகித்யத்தை கொடுத்து இதை நான் ரெடியாக வச்சுருக்கேன், அவள் பெரியவா பண்ண நோட்டேஷன், இது நீ எதாவது உபயோகப்படுத்திக்கோன்னு. உடனே அதை நான் புஸ்தகமாக போடலாம், இந்த நிகழ்ச்சி அப்போ சேர்ந்து வந்திருக்கு. அதில் முக்தமாக்கு இது ஒரு பெரிய ட்ரிபியூட். அந்த பரம்பரையிலே வந்த இப்போ திருப்பி நம்ம அந்த ஓரல் ட்ரெடிஷன், சிங்கிங் மெத்தடாலஜி, நாட்டியத்துக்கு பாட்டு இதெல்லாம் பேசின்னு இருக்கிறத பதம் பாடுறது இப்போ எப்படியோ பதமாக இருக்கானே எனக்கு தெரியல. அந்த மாதிரி இருக்கிற காலகட்டத்தில் இந்த மாதிரி டியூன்ஸ் பெரியவா பண்ணினது. ஏன்னா இப்போ பாடுற மியூசிஷியன்ஸ்லாம் பிரமாதமாக நொட்டேஷனை கொடுத்தா பார்த்து பாடுற பிரமாத பாட்டுக்கார குழந்தைலாம் வந்தாச்சு நாட்டியத்துக்கு. அட்லீஸ்ட் இதை ஏதோ ஒரு புஸ்தகத்தை வச்சுருந்தா இப்போ ஐபேடை வச்சுன்னு தான் பாடுறான், இதை வச்சுன்னு பாடலாமே, கரெக்ட் நோட்டேஷனாக இருக்கும். அதில் பெரியவாளோட டியூன்ஸாக இருக்குது. ஜெயம்மா கிளாஸ் நடத்தினப்போ மாலத்தியம்மெல்லாம் அதில் இருந்து நேர கற்றுண்டவா. அந்த டியூன்ஸ் வந்து மாதவி மாட்ட இருந்தது. அதை புஸ்தகமாக போடணும்னு சொல்லிட்டு எனக்கு ரொம்ப ஒரு சௌகரியமான இது என்னென்னா, என்னுடைய சம்மந்தி கிரீட்டேடிங் அவள் ரெடியாக இருக்கா எல்லாத்துக்கும். பல அற்புதமான விஷயங்களை அவள் போட்டுருக்கா. இந்த பதம் பற்றி ஒரு புஸ்தகம் இருக்குப்பா போடுன்னு சொன்னேன். உடனே டைரக்டர் ராம்நாராயணன், என்னுடைய மாப்பிள்ளையுடைய அண்ணா, உடனே கொடுங்கம்மா நாங்கள் போடுறோன்னு சொல்லி இந்த ஒரு 15 நாளைக்குள்ளே இதை புஸ்தகமாக தயார் பண்ணி ஒரு ஸ்லிம் புக்கு தான். அதில் குறிப்பாக வந்து 13 பாட்டுக்கு அப்புறம் 2 சேத்தம் கச்சிரங்கன் கிருப்பை எனக்கு வாழமாட்ட பாடம் உண்டு. ரொம்ப அழகான கல்யாணி பதம், யாரும் ஜாஸ்தி பண்ணவே மாட்டேங்கிறாது. அது வந்து பரதநாட்டியம் புக்கில் டாக்டர் ராகவன் எழுதியிருக்கார். பெரிய பெரிய பதங்கள்லாம் இருக்குது, இந்த கச்சிரங்கன் மாதிரி பதம்லாம் பண்ணக்கூடாது, மச்சலி பந்தர் தானே, கொச்சி கூடகு தானே, இதுக்கு என்ன அபிநயம் அப்படின்னு அவர் எழுதியிருக்கார். ஆனால் அற்புதமான பதம். பாலா அதுக்கு கை சொல்லி, கனம் கிருஷ்ணருக்கு வந்து எப்படி உடையார்பாளையம் ஜமீன்தார் அவ்வளோ வசதியாக இருந்த போட லிமிட்டடாக தான் எல்லாமே ஆதரவு கொடுக்குறான். அதனால் அவர் மற்ற போகங்களில் ராஜன் என்ன அப்படின்னு கிண்டல் பண்ணுற மாதிரியும் ஆதரவு கொடுத்தா மாதிரி அது ரொம்ப நல்லாயிருக்கும். அபிநயம் பாலா சொல்லி கொடுத்துருக்குறது அந்த மாதிரி ஒரு பதங்கள்லாம் அதில் சேருங்கம்மானே. அம்மாட்ட அந்த நொட்டேஷன்லாம் ரெடியாக இருந்தது. அதை ஒரு புஸ்தக வடிவமாக பண்ணி இன்றைக்கி ரிலீஸ் பண்ணுறது வந்து ஒரு ரொம்ப ரொம்ப பொருத்தமான காரியம். அதுவும் சங்கீத நாடக அகாடமி மாதிரி ஒரு நேஷ்னல் அகாடமியோட சன்னிவேசத்தில் அது நடக்கிறது ரொம்ப பெருமைக்குரிய காரியம். அந்த நிகழ்ச்சியை இப்போ நம்ம நடத்துகிறோம். தேங்க்யூ.
Srimati Madhavi Rajagopalan is a musician and music scholar with an MLit in Indian music from the Madras University. She was a senior student of the famous Tirupambaram Sri Swaminatha Pillai. She learned several Padams and Javalis from him, from Jayamma, Balamma and Sri T. Vishwa. In the 1960s and 1970s, she notated and documented several Padams and Javalis. She has now compiled a book titled Tamil Padams. It has a collection of some rare Padams in their original tunes. We now request Ms. Leela Sampson, Chairperson, Sangeet Natak Academy, to release the book.
I request Sri Ram Narayanan of Giri Trading, Director Giri Trading, if he is here, to come up on the dais, please. And also Sri T.S. Ranganathan, Director Giri Trading, and Director Surang Studios, who made the film with me yesterday. I request Ms. Leela Sampson to present a memento to Sri Ram Narayanan and Sri T.S. Ranganathan.
The men stand tall behind, the graceful ladies in front. We request Ms. Leela to hand over the mementos to Sri Ram Narayan and Sri Ranganathan.
They're available for sale?
We request the volunteers to distribute the copies of the book to those on stage.
Today the book is available outside for sale, and it will be priced with a discount. Rupees 65 will be the price of today. Otherwise it's priced at 75 rupees.
We now actually have a Vyabhachari when you have to go out of the hall and செவிக்கு உணவுக்கு அப்புறம் இப்போ வயிற்றுக்கு ஒரு சின்ன விருந்து of coffee and tea break, and then we come back once again to proceed with the lecture demonstration. 10 minutes? 10 minutes. Yeah, we can have a short break of just 10 minutes, please. As you go out of the hall, it's on the right side, please.
I'm happy to announce Srimati Helen Acharya, Secretary, has been very gracious to buy 100 copies and distribute to the entire public who have come here free of cost. Thank you, Sangeet Natak Academy, for your gracious gesture and also for nurturing a grand oral tradition that way.